Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem,
Kakudash. Double honors under the elders, Apostles, Great Millstone, the elders, Great Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings under the hopeful elect. That's a sincere servants of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, serving him shoot in sincerity. God, of course, coming out here at Babylon and Great once more to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom. And if you can start me off with Revelation chapter 13 and 15. Because as we know, the UK is now getting ready to mandate, pretty much the digital ID. Everybody will have to take the digital ID. Which it goes to show you how we are completely in those times, man, where Esau is about to mandate the mark of the beast, which we're about to get into. Which, of course, we understand the mark of the beast is ultimately it's a C-hip, the electronic device that they want to put in everybody.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. And realizing that too. When where did America come from, right? Britain. Britain had a major influence on America. All right. So seeing Great Britain or Britain taking that first step into the sea-hip, we already know what's next. All right, we already know it's coming down to America. All right, this is a part of their their gradualism. You see. So let's get it. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Exactly. So it's gonna come to a point where ultimately we understand that the image of the beast is of course the system that Esau's ultimately it's the NWO that Esau's preparing. But the system again represents which it goes back onto the ancient Roman Empire. But basically, it's gonna be the NWO. Of course we understand how Esau is gonna come with many laws and mandates that are gonna be required to be within the NWO, which that main one is gonna be the MOTB, which again the scriptures go into basically in Revelation chapter 14 and Revelation chapter 16. There's a judgment ran for those who take it, who take the MOTB. Might be a couple more in a few other chapters, but yeah, Khan, you can read it. Or Slacky, read it again.
Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Exactly. And the beast is the EU and the NATO. That right there is the beast. Which consists of Edomite predominantly. Yep. So next verse.
Verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Exactly. So he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. Causing meaning that he's going to mandate it. And when we get that word for mark within the Greek, we understand how it's something that's clearly tangible and physical. It's not something that's spiritual. It's not something that's abstract. No, it's something specific.
Yep.
What they're going to cause, meaning that they're going to mandate everybody to take it. So if you get the word real quick, in the Greek.
Yeah.
Because again, what the mark, and keep in mind, it says either in your right hand or in your forehead. I don't understand how you can take Christianity or take any of these again spiritual again basically whatever these guys put it on or try to describe it to be, right?
So of course, right, the word for mark in the Greek is charagma. All right, and it goes into a stamped and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Hamashiach. The mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images, All right, and when you go into the strong definition, you got a scratch or etching.
A scratch or etching. So it's clearly, again, so either in your right hand or well, it said either in the right hand or in their forehead.
Right.
So again, and when we get that definition, it says scratch or etching. So we understand now what this mark is going to be inserted inside within the flesh.
See.
You know, literally physically. You know, you can't inject Christianity into somebody's right hand or in their forehead. That makes no sense.
Yeah. This man, Esau, he's carnal. All right, so it's got to be physical. All right, and when you're looking at the way he's going about things, you know, the way, you know, his technological advancements, all right, it all boils down to you getting tracked by a chip, all right, with you know, tons of information inside of it. All right, going into your, you know, the ways you make payments, you know, your medical records, all right, your name, you know, social security number, all right, you know, whatever they need, you know, to identify you and track you, you know, and if you're disobedient, you know, at a click of a button, you know, they could put you to death, all right, or they could just turn off your chip, you know, and then you got no access to anything, all right. So you can clearly see that this man, he wants to put himself on the seat of the Most High. Okay, exalt himself even above the Most High. You see?
Exactly. And so, real quick to read this article, it says new digital ID will be mandatory to work in the UK. It says digital ID will be mandatory in order to work in the UK. As part of plans to tackle illegal migration. See? So we already know, you know, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We understand how Esau, you know, likes to set up certain things so that way he can move forward with his agenda.
That's right.
So what, you know, right now he's sending, you know, the migration, or I mean, pretty much putting up the illegal, you know, basically, you know, the immigration front, whatever, in order to move forward with his agenda. Which is what ultimately mandated that mark, but you know, as Esau likes to do, gradualism. You know, he likes to move slow. Well, and at the same time, quick, because what we understand how it says in Revelation chapter 12 and 12, how Esau knows that he has but a short time. It says, yeah. Sir Keir Starmer said that the new digital ID scheme will make it tougher to work in the UK illegally and offer countless benefits to citizens, while his senior minister, Darren Jones, said it could be the bedrock of the modern state. Yeah, and you know what? You know, basically recently, you know, it's been, you know, many articles going to, you know, many UK stabbings from, you know, pretty much the people who would select it. Or, you know, pretty much for the migrants, you know, who keep on entering into the UK. So ultimately, again, you know, so Esau's opening the borders, you know, to justify him mandating that the digital ID to control, you know, migration, as he likes to say.
Yep.
Gone. So you can read that again, and then you can get verse 17.
All right. So this is Revelation 13 and 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Exactly. And what and also says forehead, and we can clearly see the forehead because ultimately Elon Musk is preparing the Neuralink. I mean, you know, it's already out. But again, you know, they're ultimately we understand how they want to normalize it for the people.
Yep.
You know, we see how Apple is now trying to, you know, come out, or basically, you know, coming out with new technology. I believe they're trying to integrate the brain, or merge,
you know, man with machine.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a you know, recent article going into how what Esau wants to make the brain C-hip, pretty much what he wants to integrate it with the Apple Vision Pro.
Right.
So, Khan, you can get verse 17.
And verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Exactly. So you won't be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark. So what? Again, Esau is going to come with many traps and snares. What, of course, what to force you to take it. And ultimately, Esau won't be able to get the elect because the elect will be taken care of and reserved.
That's right.
But everybody else, they're going to be, of course, overcome by the sea hip.
Okay.
The majority of the world are going to be overcome by that sea hip. So you won't be able to buy or sell, meaning, you literally won't be able to do anything within society. Everything will be locked behind that sea hip.
Yep.
So, you won't be able to, have a job, pay for your bills, go to the store, go to the restaurant, do whatever within a society that requires you having to buy or sell. If you have a business, you're not going to be able to sell anything. Because, again, all transactions will be linked through that sea hip.
Yep.
The MOTB.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I got precept. This Matthew 24 and 24. For there shall arise false Hamashiachim and false prophets, and show great signs and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
Yeah, many signs and wonders. So Esau's going to come with everything. He's going to come with all of his signs and wonders. Oh, look what the MOTB can do.
Yep.
You can hop out your Tesla if you need if you need help to parallel park in your Tesla. You can hop out and you can control the Tesla just with your hand. It's just something stupid like that. They're going to try to bring. Yeah. Also, they're going to say, Apple's going to release a new update, iOS whatever, saying that if you update and you get to see it, you're going to have basic enhanced capabilities with your phone.
Exactly.
So again, Esau's going to come at everything in order to tempt you into taking it. And it's going to get to a point where, it's going to be some who don't fall for the signs and wonders. So it's going to come to a point where he again brings the mandate. You can't buy or sell unless you take it. And then it's going to come to a point where if you don't take it, you're going to receive the death penalty, the guillotine.
Yeah, and keep in mind, when this comes mandatory, all hell is going to break loose. All right, so for people to want to come back to their normal lives, everything going back to normal, all right, they're going to be looking for whatever solution in order to go back to their daily lives, man, or in order to be able to buy or sell, all right, in order to make sure that their family's safe, or whatever the case may be, all right. So he's going to put you in a place like of desperation. He's going to try to entice you, all right, and at any angle, all right, that he can, so you can just take it, and this man is willing to go as far as he needs to in order to make sure that everybody gets to see him, man. See, he has no end to his wickedness, all right, or his deceit. Esau's known as the deceiver, all right. Ever since he came about, right, even in the garden, the serpent, right, that was Esau, the spirit of Esau, man, all right. Even then, you see. So he's always had that spirit of being a deceiver. All right. Go ahead, bro.
Con. Read this real quick. It says in Matthew chapter 16 and 25, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Exactly. Or we can start at verse 14. It says in Matthew chapter 16 and 24. So Matthew chapter 16, 24, it says, then said Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Exactly. So part of taking up the cross is of course, giving up our life, which the next verse is going to go into. And ultimately denying, ourselves. As the scriptures say, or to keep on reading, it says, Matthew chapter 16 and 25, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Exactly. So whosoever will save his life shall lose it. So, for the Jakes, who want to take the MOTB, because they want to retain what they have here, ultimately what? They're going to lose it because why? Because ultimately they won't receive salvation. They're going to perish in that fire. The nuclear destruction that's going to take place in Babylon the Great.
That's it.
It says, for whosoever will lose, it's like it says, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. So again, whosoever will lose his life for what? Yahweh's sake shall find it. So what? If we, of course, give up everything that we have here, we're going to gain life unto eternal. And we understand how it's going to get to that point. Once Esau, of course, mandates that mark, obviously, we won't be able to do anything, of course, within society. We won't be able to buy or sell, have a job, do anything within society unless we have it. So right there, we're going to lose our life. Even, of course, up until the point where, of course, what Esau presents us with the death penalty, the guillotine, if you don't take it. So right there, we have to be willing to give up our lives. So to read this, it says in Matthew chapter 16 and 26, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his own soul? Exactly. So, you can gain the whole world, basically you can keep your life here. Well, I mean, again, it's only going to be temporary. Ultimately, if you accept Esau's world, then, you're going to perish with Esau's world. Because as it says in 2 Ezra chapter 6 and 9, for Esau's end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So, if you want to stay in Esau's world, then ultimately you're going to perish with it, because we understand how Yahushua is coming back to take down, Esau's rulership, and of course as well as the other nations. So ultimately there's a sacrifice. If you want to gain life unto eternal, you got to be willing to give up every single thing that you have currently, within this world.
That's it. And then you got the Christian or anti-Christian, right? Idiots that thought the rapture was coming. All right, and for some dumb reason, they just decided to sell, all their possessions, and thinking that, I sold everything, I took everything, I'm ready. Which that was just dumb, man. All right, when it's time for us to completely throw everything away, we're not going to do that just selling it. It's going to be because, that's your way of being back with society, right? That MOTB, all right, that hour of temptation, all right, that's going to be what tries you, all right. That's what's going to try everybody, all right. And these different guys who, thought they was doing something with the rapture that lost everything, they gonna end up taking it, man. All right, because they think they're not ready for the tribulation that's to come. All right, it's not just the elect is going to be beamed up without any tribulation. No, your faith is going to have to be tried, man. All right, and I got a precept.
Go on, you got it.
It's Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right?
The beginning, the Omega, then you go to the Alpha. There was and never more to be.
Yep. Yeah.
You gotta keep that fire burning within thee.
Yep.
I talk about redemption soon.
Yeah. The Lord coming back soon, man.
Woman shot that Ross. That's what I do to that snake. Touching worse than a jelly bean. The beginning.
Yeah.
Y'all have a great physical everything.
All right, man.
Shalom.
Super divine love. Shalom is truly wonderful.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so bro.
Yeah.
All right. Revelation 2 and 10, read it again. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days.
Exactly. So, this is something that we 100% expect. So some of us will be cast into prison for 10 days. and of course about 10 days going into sign of completion. So 10 days could be 3 days, 10 days could be 7 days, 10 days could be 10 days, 10 days could be 2 weeks, 10 days could be 1 month, or again, however long ultimately the Lord wants you to be in that prison. So what we're going to be tried. What ultimately to take that MOTB. Exactly. Ultimately it might be 3 days.
Yeah. You said what? Nah, man, just the Bible, bro. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, Khan, read again.
Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Exactly. So ultimately again, so 10 days. So some of us will be cast into prison. So ultimately we're 100% expecting that. And again, we gotta be ready for that.
Yep.
So it might come to a point where Esau comes with martial law up into your door, and then basically presenting you to take the MOTB. If you don't take it, then ultimately you're gonna be thrown to that camp.
That's it.
Or basically the internment camp.
That's it. And brothers been going into putting on that armor, right? Putting on that armor, right? Because and we can't be afraid of what the flesh can do to you, right? What flesh and blood can do to you, what Esau gonna do to us, all right? Because we built up our faith that, hey, the Lord got us, We believe that the Lord gonna deliver us. We believe that the Lord is gonna grant certain brothers spiritual powers, man. We believe that nothing that this man can do to us can overtop what the Lord can do for us, man. Because we know that the Lord put him in this position, and we understand why we're in this lower state. See, but now we coming back to our power. All right, we had that falling away period. All right, and now we getting our power back. First by understanding who we are. All right, and then being service of the Lord. All right, through truth and sincerity. See. And here's verse 11. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second. What is the second death? The thermonuclear destruction. All right, those who take the MOTB, they're going to have to face that thermonuclear destruction. The second death, man. All right. So here we are spiritually, we're like spiritually Noah, building up the spiritual ark, right? Because the first death came through a flood. All right, but now we got the second death, which is coming by fire, man. All right, and those who those 2/3, all right, that's not with Yahweh by Shemi-Shai, all right, they gonna get caught up in the second death.
Yo, Khan, get this right. And to add on to your point, I said Matthew chapter 16 and 27, for the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then shall he reward every man according to his works.
Mm-hmm.
Verily I say, it says, verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Yeah, so there's going to be some of us who don't taste of death. Well, ultimately, it's not. Of course, there are going to be martyrs. Meaning, there are going to be some elect Israelites that perish for the name of Yahweh by Shemi-Shai. But again, we're in a time where spiritual power is coming. Of course, we understand how back then, the prophets were, being killed, the disciples were being killed, but ultimately, we're not in that same time right now. Ultimately, Yahweh Shemi-Shai is going to raise up, brothers, send angels, miracles, spiritual power. And what also the scriptures prophesy how the deliverance here is going to greatly exceed the deliverance from Egypt. So obviously, you know, there's going to have to be a lot of Israelites who get saved.
Yep.
Because you know, if you know most of the elections die, then you know the deliverance, you know, won't be that great.
Right.
So you know, again, we understand how Yahweh Shemi is going to, you know, reserve a lot of us.
Yep.
And no, you know, what recently, you know, of course, what we had the rapture, you know, that just came to, or you know, the so-called the prediction of the rapture. Again, you know what, showing you that these so-called Christians are completely bugged out, man. Gone.
Yeah, that's it.
So you got a precept?
Let me see. Yeah, I'll just bring this out real quick. So this is Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right, so this is going into the salvation. All right, now, you know, when this is happening, all right, you know, those who are receiving the salvation, you know, they pass the hour of temptation. You know, they stay faithful during the hour of temptation. All right, they pass the, you know, the trial and tribulation period. All right, and you know, when the missiles getting shot, all right, to destroy this place, all right, the elect is being beamed up, all right, simultaneously. All right, and you can read this in verse 13. In the same hour there was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. All right, so while this place is getting destroyed, right, the scriptures go into it's only going to take an hour to destroy this place. All right, you know, the elect is going to see this place completely in flames, you know, affrighted, you know, giving glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You know, that you know, they receive that mercy. Okay, you know, you and being up in the chariot, getting the perfect body. All right, and at that point you'll know and realize, you know, the affliction that you were going through, it was all worth it in the end, man. You know, and we strive, and Lord willing, you know, we can receive that salvation. You know, getting up into the chariots, you know, and with the perfect bodies, man. You know, and looking down on this place as it gets destroyed. You see?
Gone. That's it on that?
Yeah, that's it.
It says, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5:1. It says, Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Exactly what, and ultimately what, you know, the prophets, you know, represent those righteous men. You know, of course, what for us brothers, you know, who been out here. Of course, you know, you know, our elder apostles and elders of Great Millstone, you know, been out here for many years. Well, ultimately, it's going to come to a point very, very soon where our enemies are going to, of course, see us going up into the chariots.
Yep.
It says, verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Exactly, you know, constantly mocking and scoffing at the, of course, at the prophets, man.
Yeah, and we're seeing, you know, what we've been preaching through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. These things are coming true. All right. Now that you have the whole thing with the digital ID, these different groups, you're starting to see them kind of start to slowly, you know, say that the MOTB was the chip, or try to somehow, incorporate or put it in there, all right, rather than just saying we was wrong and GMS was right.
Yeah.
You know, You gotta own up. Okay, you know, I was wrong. I was going off, and just repent, and then that's it. All right, but you know, you a lot of these different men in these Israelite camps, especially the leaders, you know, they have a lot of pride. All right, and you know, as you know, the end of this place, you know, continues. All right, more and more, you know, they're going to see who's been preaching the right doctrine, who the real prophets are. All right, and at that point, it's nothing you can say. All right, you can't say nothing, man. When the MOTB is passed and it's the C-HIP, and it ain't nothing that these other groups has been saying. All right, that's it. All right, and you can't just say the C-HIP is a part of the MOTB. No, it is the MOTB. All right, because it doesn't, the other stuff that you're saying, it doesn't make sense. All right, the C-HIP has to be the MOTB. All right, when you read into the mark, charagma, physical etching, you look at these what Esau is doing. I mean, come on, man. You know. So and we are and hey, we gonna see it, man. You know.
Exactly. Hey, so you know, again, this new article, new digital ID will be mandatory to work in the UK, and you know, basically within that video that you know, pretty much elder, you know, the elder apostle Har, you know, did a response on the brother or the elder from Hawaii, Gabar Yehuda. You know what? Basically going into how again, you know, they're gonna mandate this, and you know, within a comment board, you know, I believe the apostle, you know, pretty much was predicting that was the, you know, one of the IUIC members. Gone. So again, it says digital ID will be mandatory in order to work in the UK as part of plans to tackle illegal migration. See? Yep. So again, you know, they're going to mandate that the MOTB. And again, you know, the Esau starts with, by of course, gradual changes.
That's it.
So, well, you know, first he's going to introduce the digital ID, you know, put certain things in effect, you know, certain benefits for people who take it. And boy, even right here, you know, well, again, Esau's, you know, literally mandating it so that, you know, you have to take it. Or what did this digital ID, which of course the digital ID isn't the mark of the beast. But we see where it's heading to. Ultimately, what the mark of the beast is the RFID implant. It's of course that the C-HIP, the chip that they want to put in everybody. That right there is the MOTB. But again, Esau starting off gradual.
That's it.
But at the same time, what you know, Esau's of course moving quickly.
Right.
Revelation chapter 12 and 12 says what? How Satan knows that he hath but a short time.
Yeah.
So he's quickly, you know, speeding it up.
That's why he's ramping things up with the divisions, right? The civil unrest. All right. You know, whether it's political, by race, by gender, you know, whatever it may be. All right. You know, when you look at the modern day, all right, American, nobody thinks the same. Everything is divided. All right, and that was one of the biggest prophecies that Yahweh Shai said that we will have to look for, all right, upon his return. All right, you know, and he's looking for that great wrath too with you Jakes. He's saying that you Jakes are the problem with America, you know. So he's coming after you. All right, so we're seeing it, man. Jacob's trouble. That's right. All right, we're seeing him come. All right. And if you ain't been getting right with the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, you won't get caught up with that judgment, man. All right, it's gonna be pestilence, famine, you know, the sword. All right, and if you survive all that, you know, you're gonna get hit with the missile, man. You're gonna get hit with the thermonuclear destruction. All right.
Go on, read this real quick. It says Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and 7. It says, "Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not out from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth." It says, "And in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance." Exactly. So it says, make no tarrying. And you know, it's not like these things are gonna come, and you know, you can basically make a exit strategy, you know, and to repent. Ultimately, what, you know, you have to of course repent now, because you know you won't be able to decide, okay, you know, I'm gonna repent now. As soon as this happens, then I might repent. You know what? Ultimately, if you know, you wait that long, it might already be too late. Yeah. You know, again, so right now, as the prophets out, are of course out here, giving the message, you have to listen now.
That's it, because the prophets, we're not going to be out here forever.
That's right.
All right, the scripture's going to the famine of the word. All right, and we're seeing what Esau is doing. You making certain comments. People are going to jail over it. So imagine when he cut off the internet. All right, imagine when we're no longer able to come out in the highways and hedges. And people are going to be looking for the truth, man. All right. Wherever brothers post at in camps, at the same exact time it's gonna be packed, because they gonna know they was preaching the truth the whole time, man. You see? So you gotta get it now, man. The Lord is gonna come like a thief in the night. All right, so you gotta be ready. All right, and if you ain't ready, then then you done, you through.
Exactly.
All right.
Read this. It says Amos chapter 8 and 11. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. Yeah. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it. See? So it's going to come to a point where the Lord's going to shut up his prophets, so that ultimately, so that we don't speak anymore. So what? Showing you that this message is only temporary. So again, that's why it says what? It says, but it says, Amos chapter 8 and 11, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh by Semihal-Shai. So again, it's going to come to a point where, again, there's going to be a famine of the word, meaning that you won't be able to know what to do once things really pop off.
Yep.
So right now, as the doors of mercy are open, ultimately the Lord has prophets out here, preaching, prophesying that the kingdom of heaven to come.
That's it.
Well, right now is a time to get right.
That's right.
Yep. So, let's see. You got something?
Read this. It says in Matthew chapter 24 and 23. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here's Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. And what? Recently you just had the so-called, rapture.
Oh yeah.
That happened 2 days ago.
Dumbass Christians.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to predict. Which again, as the scriptures say, no man knoweth the day nor hour.
That's it.
And how many times I believe it says that within the scriptures, at least a couple of times.
There you
that
go.
No man knoweth the day nor hour.
Right.
Even
the Son of Man, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh
Issachar-He,
has not gave his son. He has not gave him the day or the time.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, showing you
true.
how. Hey,
that's how powerful it is.
Hey, again, showing you how top secret. The day, and again, we of course, we understand how, we can see the signs how ultimately the second coming of Yahushua is near.
That's it. Yeah.
So we can already see it. So we can see the sign. Just like how it's about to rain. We don't know the exact time when it's gonna rain, but ultimately we understand how it's about to rain. So what? Ultimately we're prepared and we're ready.
That's it. You looking at the clouds, it's getting dark. You start to see a little lightning flash, thunder flash. You know it's about to rain. All right. The same way that we know that with the signs of the Lord's coming, right? We can let's get that real quick. All right. This is Matthew 16 and 1. It says, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye shall say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? All right.
Hey, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, we're known as what? The Lord's watchmen. All right, we go into prophecy. All right, you know, these different anti-Christians, you know, most of these camps, they don't go into prophecy. All right, so and to be in the let's get that to the testimony of the Lord is what? Being in the spirit of prophecy. That's why constantly we're looking for the sign of the shalom. That's why, you know, constantly, you know, we're reporting on you know, prophecies pertaining to the MOTB. You know, we're looking at tensions rise up, you know, for World War III. All right, you know, we're looking at you know, these different things that's going on. You know, the storehouse is going to be empty. All right, you know, the inflation going up. All right, you know, and we, you know, we're going into all these things and filtering it out through the scriptures. All right, because these are the things that the Lord prophesied about. All right, upon him returning. All right, so we know we're in those times, man. Okay.
Gone. It says 2nd Ezra chapter 9, or you got any more on that?
That was it for that. Go ahead.
Gone. It says 2nd Ezra chapter 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, it says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Exactly. So what? Ultimately, we're, you know, of course, as it says, what, measure thou the time diligently. And how do we do that? We do that by the way of these scriptures. So what, you know, adding on to the brother's point, you know, we're ultimately, you know, linking up current events with the scriptures. So, you know, we can clearly see how we are in those times where, of course, Yahushua's about to make his return.
That's it.
And what with that, as the scriptures say, what ultimately Yahushua said that he's going to come back with a fire kindle in the earth, meaning, you know what, things are going to be happening, but, you know, of course, you know, literally there's going to be you know, destruction taking place in Babylon the Great, which is America. We already know what, of course, Yahushua's coming back at the climax of World War III.
Yeah, I got some. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Exactly. So, you know, you have a lot of messages, peace and safety messages. You know, people think that things are going to get better. Well, you know, now that Nero's in office, which, you know, it's a lot of, you know, shaking up going on.
Right.
You know, people now, you know, for the voters of Trump, you know, now they hate him.
Yeah.
So, hey. Gon, you can read it again.
Yeah. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Exactly, and as the scriptures say, what? Of course, Yahushua's coming back like a thief in the night. So, you know, as soon as you say peace and safety, you know, I'm good. What? Yahushua's gonna come back right there to make his return.
That's it.
And what he sees, what? As we know, as the scriptures say, Yahushua's only gonna deliver his remnant, you know, his elect. And what for everybody else, so they're gonna perish. And, you know, ultimately for the heathen that remain, you know, that's not within Babylon and grave, you know, who don't you know, die off, you know, within a war. Well, ultimately, what, you know, they're gonna be, of course, reserved onto slavery.
That's it.
Because what, you know, of course, as the scriptures say, you know, within Revelation chapter 2, Yahushua is coming back to rule over the whole entire world, and also what, for those who overcome, you know, of course, you know, we're gonna have dominion over all these other nations, meaning what, ultimately they're gonna be our subjects.
That's right.
Under us.
Be our slave.
Yep. I got that for you. Revelation 2 and 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Yeah, so for those who overcome, that's going to be one of the, of course, gifts that are given unto you. You know, having rulership over the heathen, having power over the heathen.
That's it.
That's what's coming. You know, so it's not going to be unity of all nations.
Nope.
Well, it's going to be Israel over all other nations. Starting with, of course, the elect. Of course, you're going to have the hierarchy, the 144,000. Of course, you're going to have the 12. You're going to have King David. You're going to have, and then, of course, Yahushua over all of that.
Yep. Verse 27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father.
Hey, and that doesn't sound like something light and easy.
Hardcore bondage.
Yeah, the Lord gonna put a spirit on us to rule over the nations.
Yep. Yeah.
And Khan, are you in the BLB? Because real quick, you can get the word for rod. It's a Greek word, rhabdos.
Yeah, I'll get it.
You can read the definition.
Yeah, kind. The point's kind of like at the bottom. You can just get the point. All right, Khan, yeah. All right, so yeah, that word for rod in the Greek is rhabdos. All right, and it says, going straight to the point, with the rod of iron indicates the severest, most rigorous rule.
Exactly. So our rule is going to far exceed, what these other nations put upon us.
Yeah.
Especially with Esau, you go real heavy, to basically what they did onto our people, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos. What we do is going to far exceed, what they have done onto us. So go ahead and read that again.
Revelation 2:27, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
Yeah, but here's the thing, of course, everything that we do is going to be in righteousness. We're not going to do any, wicked acts. Yep, all that. Now, ultimately, everything that we're going to do is righteous, and also we're going to have spiritual power.
Yes.
Yep.
And again, so that's why it says how we're going to have this severest, most rigorous rule.
And Esau, he's not going to overthrow that, come up with a plan and come up against. That ain't gonna happen at all, man. All right. And the reason why we're in this state is why, because we went off. When we in the kingdom, we're gonna have the laws written in our inward parts, man. We're not gonna be capable of going off at all. We're gonna be perfect. You see? So it's gonna be an everlasting rulership. All right.
Exactly. So if of course we're not perfect state, we sin no more, then the Lord wouldn't have to send our enemies to of course overtake us.
That's it.
Because again we're going to be perfect. We're going to have the second ultimately the second covenant is going to be in effect, and we're going to have those new bodies.
Yeah, and that's that's because that's a part of the curses. If we went off right from the covenant we made from the Lord, we're currently going through those curses, that the Lord said we would go through if we were to go off, if we were to break the covenant. You see? So now it'll be different, all right, because again, we're gonna have the law written in our inward parts. All right. And the heathens, the curses that we got, the heathens is going to get those curses.
It's starting to fall on them now.
Oh, yeah.
We're already in that process
That's
of
it.
Transitioning.
That's it. You see these Edomites, man, they through, man, in distress.
They can't take just a little bit of the curses falling on them. They're wicked as fuck, man. They were born to be wicked. But and then that thing about slavery, that wasn't slavery they did to our people. That was torture.
Yeah.
So we're gonna show them how slavery's gonna happen. And the Lord's, like you said, the Lord's gonna put the statutes, laws, statutes, commandments in our inward parts. Yeah.
So imagine Superman Black Adam. Again, that's why it goes into severest, most rigorous rule.
Yeah.
So imagine Superman, being your slave master, man.
Yeah, because they made Superman a damn simp, man.
Yeah.
Superman, he not, he got all that power, but he's still a damn,
Well, really, I should say Zod, because we're gonna be like Zod.
Yeah,
that's how it gotta be.
Yeah. God. Let's see. So, real quick, I'll get.
Psalm 91.
Okay. All right, this is the book of Psalms 91 and 1. It says, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in Him will I trust."
Now read the word that's there in the Hebrew.
God.
Just reading the sentence.
God.
Let's use the Lord's name.
Yeah, Con. So the Lord's name, it said, the Most High, Al-Yawan. Al-Yawan. So of the Most High, meaning, it says high, upper. So highest, most high. So highest and most high. And then when we get the word for Almighty, the Hebrew word is Shadia, meaning Almighty, most powerful. And of course, going on to the verb Shaddad, meaning to deal violently with, despoil, devastate, ruin, destroy, spoil.
So Shadia also means like a demon-like power.
Demon-like
power. Demon.
Yeah.
All right. So read it exactly what it says there in the English.
Con.
Read it verbatim. You read it verbatim.
All right, Khan. Yes, like Psalms 91 and 1. "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust."
All right, so that Most High right there is talking about the Father. All right? But everything that the Father gave to the Son, Yahweh Shai, He's going to inherit. It tells you that in Matthew 26 chapter. Get Matthew 26. Talks about the Israelite Gentiles and in that 28 chapter. Matthew 28 and start from 11.
Gone to Matthew chapter 28 and 11. It says, "Now when they were going, behold, some of the watch came into the city and showed unto the chief priests all the things that were done." It says that when they were assembled with the elders and had taken counsel, it says, it says, read again. It says Matthew chapter 28 and 12. It says, and when they were assembled with the elders and had taken counsel, they gave large money unto the soldiers, saying, "Say ye, his disciples came by night and stole him away while we slept." It says, "And if this come to the governor's ears, we will persuade him and secure you." It says, verse 15. So they took the money and did as they were taught. And it says, "And the saying is commonly reported among the Jews until this day." Then it's lucky. It says Matthew chapter 28 and 16. It says, then the yes, lucky. Should have known. It says Matthew chapter 28 and 16. It says, then the
11 disciples. I'll read it. Matthew 28 and 16.
Get Matthew 11, 27.
Okay.
In fact, start from
Matthew 11 and 27. 25? Okay.
Point is in that verse. Go ahead.
Matthew 11 and 25. At that time, Yahweh Shai answered and said, "I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent and has revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father.
As wise and prudent, meaning the people that went to school, that were so-called educated with the world, they didn't learn under the proper teachers. The world can only take you so far, but when you're gifted with the Holy Spirit of understanding to know all things, like Messiah, Yahushua is and was, you're more of an appropriate teacher. You're more qualified teacher because you were sent directly from the Father, from Yahweh. Right?
Yep. Matthew 11:26. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in thy sight. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father. Neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him.
Yeah. So we got to go through Yahushua. You got to go through the Messiah.
Got to.
All right. And everything goes through Yahushua. We can't go to the Father directly. Read 27 again.
Matthew 11:27. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father. Neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him.
And so we got to go through the Messiah, Yahushua. Give me Deuteronomy 18:15. Give me that's off the top of my head.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 18:15. The Lord,
Isaiah 9:6.
Deuteronomy 18:15. The Lord thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
Right. You got it again. That's
Yep.
the Messiah.
Deuteronomy 18:15. The Lord thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
Yep. That was a prophecy that Moses preached about Yahushua. So he said there's going to be a man that's going to be closer. The scriptures say that Moses, I believe it says Moses was his friend too. It said that about Abraham. Yeah, I think it said about Abraham and Moses. I'll find it. So Moses had a special relationship with the Father. All right. So Moses is prophesying about Moses had a special, because Moses saw the Most High. Yahweh saw his back parts. Exactly. Yeah, saw his back parts. So that was a special relationship. And none of us ever. Well, we seen it, but we can't remember it. We were all spirits first.
They think Bin Laden did it.
But in the flesh, we didn't
Bomb
see.
on they shit. They think Bin Laden
We
did that shit.
didn't see.
They thought I was in there.
Side with the angels. We can't remember. Us being in the spirit world. So Moses, he actually saw the back parts of the Father.
Yep.
And that's why his face shone, glowed. He had to put a veil over Moses' head. How crazy when the angels return for our secure, how in fear even our own people, but Esau and other nations, how afraid they're gonna be when the angels come back. They're not gonna see the full force, but just seeing what the Lord allows them to see, they're gonna be terrified of the angels, the so-called UFOs. They're gonna be terrified. All right? Yeah. And we're gonna go back to Psalms. All right, Psalms 91. Go ahead.
All right, Khan. Psalms 91:1.
Go back there right now, I'm saying.
Oh, Salaki.
You want that Isaiah 9?
Yeah, Isaiah 9. The friends read. What were you reading?
Deuteronomy 18:15.
Yeah, go back to Deuteronomy, then read the other precepts I asked for. Then we go back to Psalms.
All right, Khan. Deuteronomy 18:15. The Lord thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
And like unto Moses. All right, so Moses, he had that special relationship with. He was called upon to do a certain work. He had to do what we say, John 5:30. We'll get that too. So Moses had a special relationship with the Father. All right, he was close. He saw his back parts. All right. So Yahushua was that special spirit that was raised up to teach Israel and to condemn the rest of the world. the wicked, right? which is a separation. A great gulf fix. We gonna say that in Luke. A great gulf fix where we can't go over where Esau at, and Esau can't come over where we're at. Meaning our blessings, our final destination. All right? There can't be no crossover. That was the great gulf. All right? Esau being the rich man, and Lazarus representing our people, the Israelites. All right? Our next precept, Isaiah.
Isaiah 9:6. The book of Isaiah, chapter.
Let the brother read it.
Okay.
Read the scriptures out.
Yeah, God says, Isaiah chapter 9 and 6, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. It said, and the government shall be upon his shoulder.
And the government, look up government. And the government, I looked at it, they mean rule. Is that Mashal?
Yeah, Mashara, meaning rule, dominion, government, empire.
Rule, all right? So it's going to be no code. We're not going to rule with the other nations, all right? The other nations are going to be in slavery.
Right.
All the Israelites that are scattered in those other nations that we're going to be gathered. It tells you that also in Isaiah. It said our sons shall come from afar. All right, but give me John 5 and 30.
Yep.
And then find the precept where it says thy sons shall come.
This is John 5 and 30. It says, I can of mine own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me.
All right, read it again.
John 5 and 30. I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge.
I can of my own self do nothing. That's how we know that the Father and the Son are not the same entity, the same being. All right? Now you can say, well, all spirits emanated from the Father. All right? But, you know, how the order was the Father created the Son and the Son created everything else. All right? But the fact, though, yeah, we all come from the same Spirit, the source, the Almighty. The present, He's present. He exists. Yahweh. All right? Somebody translated as well. He breathes, but it's He is Yah and exists, present. He's present. That's the Father. That's the Father's name. He's present. All right. And the Son's name is He delivers. It's Yah. It's He. And Hawashai, which means deliver or salvation. He, salvation. He's salvation. All right. So the Father, which is a source, He simply means He exists or He's present. All right, but what else can you name the Father? You know, he exists. So he's existence itself. He has no beginning, no end. You know, it's a being that we cannot understand. All right, that's why we should have confidence, because we're operating under the protection and guidance of the source of his existence itself. So that's the comfort that we take. All right, we're not under. Give me treasure book. Give me the devil out the damn bag. This is an afterthought. All right. This is a thing created. This is not the source. All right. This is a newer image that's created in the mid 1400s. All right. And so we got horns on them because this is a picture of Satan incarnate. All right. It says Jesus is a Jesus is a Negro, not a white man, meaning that he looked like he's from the tribe of Judah, so-called Black Americans. All right, and said El Diablo is the devil. This image is not biblical, but that's actually a wrong statement. It is biblical, but it's not biblically describing the Lord. All right, because this image is biblical. When you look in not this exact image, but we look up the skin tone. We look up Miriam, she had leprosy, and Moses' hand turned pale white. Right? That's when you see this color as representing someone not an Israelite. All right? You see this color, you see Miriam when she got leprosy, and when Moses' hand turned pale flesh. That's when you see his color.
Esau red as a hairy garment.
Well, in Esau, yeah.
Yep.
Genesis 25
Yep.
on down. 25 on down. All right, so when you see leprosy, and when you see Moses' hand, and when you see Esau, all right? that's when it gives you a description of this skin tone. All right, those three major times: leprosy, Moses' hand, which is de facto leprosy. All right, and then Esau, which they're all actually leprosy. Technically, yeah, they're all leprosy. But Moses' hand, he put his hand in the bosom, and it turned, leprous, white as snow. All right, I mean, it lost his melanin, the pigment. All right, but if you want to describe how the Messiah looked, all right, you won't get this skin tone. You won't get these features. You won't even get this garment. It's dressed in a Roman fashion. You won't get that. All right, give me the Lord out of there. The description of the Lord. You'll see, according to the description of the Messiah and the description of the other Israelites, the brothers, you'll get this image. All right. You have appropriate scriptures listed. You get garment down to the foot with the border of blue and the fringes, which represents the law, and a golden girdle with the lion and the breastplate and the ephod, all right, which is the priestly robe, priestly garment. All right, so you won't see this. All right, so this is a figment of someone's imagination, a crazy person.
Yeah.
All right, that was a thief and a liar. And that used their current power to erase the true Israelites, because they were taking over the earth at the time. When you look up Job 9th chapter, tells you about the covenant phases of the judges. All right. So go back to Isaiah 9. Read.
Gone. It says Isaiah 9:6, for unto us is a child born, unto us is a son given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Right. So those are the titles of the Messiah. Right. The titles of the Messiah: Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, because he's technically our Father and our brother. All right, the Messiah, because he created us, which makes him a father, not the Father, makes him a father. All right. And then you have a son, because he's a son of the Most High God, Yahweh, or Al-Shaddai, all right, which is terrible demon power, Al-Shaddai. All right. So you can't conflate the original image here, based upon the precepts of the scriptures, with the made-up image of here, Church of the Abortion. All right. Church of the Abortion. So you can see that they're based off of each other, same archetype. Different artists, but same archetype. All right. So now, if you believe in the image, we're not trying to get you to stop believing. You can believe what you want. But we're Bible. We believe in the text received. All right. That it describes the proper, image of Yahweh Shah, of the Messiah. All right. So read 9-6 again.
Isaiah 9:6, for unto us is a child born, unto us is a son given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Right, his government should be upon his shoulder. So the government is what? The authority. You read that? Did you read that? Revelation 2. You read that, right?
Yeah, right.
A few scriptures ago. Revelation 2. So Revelation 2 says they should rule with a rod of iron. All right. So that's part of the government. The government basically controls you, tells you what to do and not to do. That's the government. So if you don't have a government, then you're free to do whatever you want. So we're governed by laws, command. Give me Jeremiah 31 and 30.
This is Jeremiah 31 and 30. But everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord.
Yeah, new covenant with the house of Israel. So the new covenant with the house of Israel is you don't become a spiritual Israelite. The only spiritual Israelites are original Israelites that were asleep and that woke up to our nationality, who we were. Woke up to our true heritage. It's the only way you can be a spiritual Israelite. But if you're not an actual Israelite from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, ending with Jacob, the seed of Jacob, then you can't be an Israelite. Right? During the salvation, the only people that are going to be delivered are going to be the genetic Israelites from their father's side, not from the mother's side. Because you have Edomites that have Israelite blood on their mother's side. All right? So they're not going to be delivered. They have to be by your father. All right? It's not our job to figure out who's who. Our job is to preach the gospel. All right? If you figure out who you is, that's between you and the Holy Spirit. All right? Our job is not to say that you're not, that you are. All right? We know you by your fruits. All right? What's important is your actions. All right? And the Lord will sort that all out. All right? At His proper time. So if you're a believer, then you believe. And the angels are going to sort. Give me Amos 9:6.
I got precept. This is the book of Romans 8 and 16. It says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit. This is Romans 8 and 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. Yeah, so the Spirit beareth witness. Like the brother said, you can't go by necessarily, what you look like. All right, the Spirit beareth witness. All right, you got brothers that are speckled birds as well. All right, but the fact that you coming out and you have the gift of faith. All right, you're an Israelite. All right, you gotta look into these things with the spiritual eye. All right, you got Jake that say, just because he doesn't look ideally like an Israelite, oh, he ain't an Israelite. Oh, he's this from this nation or that nation. All right, and you can't go by that. All right, the scriptures say the Spirit beareth witness. All right, okay.
Right, and it says that what else? It says that he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. He's one Jew. He's a Jew inwardly, and it's of the Spirit. All right. And I talk about circumcision, where you can go further and talk about the complexion of your phenotype. That's how Esau defines race according to your phenotype. All right, that's not your race. All right, because you can have similar phenotype and be a different race. All right. Esau so-called white man, he categorizes race into 3 races. But he's a devil. We don't go by his categorizations. Those are his categorizations. According to him, the Arabs are white. Indians are white, or so-called white people. Like that made no damn sense.
Yeah. What they say, white Hispanic?
Say again?
Yeah, well, white Hispanic, like
white Hispanics. They say on applications not Hispanic or black non-Hispanic.
Yeah.
Different. They categorize. That's Esau's definition. Remember, Esau's a liar. All right. He the one that said that so-called black people have smaller brains. So that means we're less intelligent.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and say, oh, it's not true. So their whole categorization is based upon their hatred for God's sons, the sons of God, the true biblical Israelites. All right, tribe of Judah. So you got to rethink. Every time Esau makes it like these grandiose statements and it tells you things about outer space and different sciences, you got to go back to where he got that from. What is he basing it off of? Is it actual research or is it just him making up stuff? He'll just make up shit. Sometimes, he'll just make up a fact and keep repeating it, and then everybody believes it.
Yeah, okay.
That's how people believe things, because they keep repeating it on TV and on radio, and then you believe it after a while when it's based upon a lie.
Yeah.
Right? He said that the so-called Jews, when you look at them to now, they used to be black. Well, no, they always was black, and they still black today. For the core center of them anyway, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They still look the same way, with slight variations. But Esau try to tell you, oh, they used to be black. No, they still black. All right, they're still dark brown skin, different variations of brown. All right. But then you'll look at the so-called Jays today, and many of them are indistinguishable from other so-called white people because they are a part of the so-called white race as defined by his own people. The so-called Jays are so-called white people. All right? Now they mix themselves, so some of them look brown. But the core center of them, they look like so-called white people. They're indistinguishable. You know, they have the different variations, just like all races have different variations. But the core of them, you put a bunch of them together, you'll get lost. They look exactly like the Germans. All right, you got a book called I forget the name of the book. Was it Hitler's Jewish soldiers? Hitler's Jewish soldiers. You know, you look up the pictures and look up their names and their rank. They had rank within the German army, right? And they look just like the Germans. I'm like, what the? And Whoopi Goldberg got in trouble for that. Whoopi Goldberg on The View, she said, because the Bernhardt chick is a so-called J. She said, yeah, but black people, you can't. Find a quote how she got in trouble. She basically was saying that, well, but if you were Jewish, you could hide amongst Germans, right? But if you were so-called black, you couldn't hide, right? And that's when she got suspended for like a week or something like that, a couple of weeks. She had to come back, she had to apologize. But she was making a true statement that the so-called Germans could hide amongst the Germans. The difference was that religion, you know, because there's a difference, you know. So when the so-called Jays got to Germany, it wasn't just one group. You had a diaspora of converts, because we converted Esau to be Israelites. We converted them. So when the diaspora came, many of the Edomites and the Israelites migrated to Germany, and they mixed together. And then you have our people scattered amongst the people that identify as being Jewish. You have authentic Israelites, and then you have converts that converted during the Greek rule. During every time, it wasn't just one period where Esau converted to be an Israelite, all right? By his religion, not his lineage. All right, now you're an Israelite based upon your lineage, not what you believe in. Okay, make that clear. You're an Israelite based upon your lineage, not what you believe in. So during the Khazar Empire, Esau converted. During the time of John Hyrcanus, during the Greek Empire, they converted to being an Israelite. All right, and our people in Esau settled in Europe. And some of them stopped calling themselves Israelites, and some of them continued to call themselves Israelites on both Esau and Jacob. So it wasn't just one time period; there was many time periods, or at least three, where you had the so-called Jays convert to being Israelites. All right. Now, according to the law, according to prophecy, you can't. If you're not an Israelite, you have no inheritance rights. You have no legal right to be an Israelite. That's not how nationality works. All right, you don't convert to be another nation. No, we don't have any money, any bread.
Anybody got $1?
No, we don't.
$1.
No, we don't. We do not. We don't have $1. Now give me Matthew. Do you have another precept you want to read?
No.
Give me Matthew, first chapter. She had a $1 spirit on her. Every week, or every other week, once a month, she always asked for a very specific amount.
Aggressively too.
And then if we don't, she'll say something under her breath.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the spirit.
Yeah.
It's never 50 cents, never a couple of dollars or $5 or some change, food. It's always specifically $1. That's very interesting. Matthew 1:1, it describes the lineage of Yahweh Shai. So read the first couple and then jump down to Yahweh Shai.
Yep. Matthew 1:1. It says the book of the generation of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob.
And the first verse goes a little deeper than that, but we'll skip it for now. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 2, Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren.
All right, to go down closer toward the Messiah.
God. So this is Matthew 1, and we'll read, we'll start at 13. And Zerubbabel begat Abid, and Abid begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azor, and Azor begat Sadak, and Sadak begat Atcom.
So it's based upon your father's lineage, not your mother's lineage. All right, because Ruth was a Moabite. All right, so that means the Messiah has Moabite blood, but it's not based. Your lineage is not based upon your mother; it's based upon your father. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 14. And Azor begat Sadak, and Sadak begat Acum, and Acum begat Eliud, and Eliud begat Eleazar, and Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahweh Shai, who is called Hamashiach.
Right, so that's a normal lineage by paternity. All right. Now it's an afterthought to say that Mary got pregnant by the Holy Spirit. That's an afterthought. But originally, before Babylonian, Greco-Latin mythology came into play, it was originally male seed passed down, father, son, father, son, father, son. It's only an afterthought that the Holy Spirit could get you pregnant. All right? Go back to, did you have another precept?
Amos 9:7.
9-7.
Amos 9:7. Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel? Saith the Lord Yahweh. It says, have I not brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt and the Philistines of Captor?
Yeah, meaning that we look similar. Are you not as the children of Ethiopians? All right, what?
It says, and the Syrians from Ker. It says, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth.
Right, originally I was talking about Israelites, right? And then that curse is on Esau, Edom. What?
Saying that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Jacob among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve.
Yeah, so we're scattered amongst all the nations. So if we're scattered amongst the nations for thousands of years, all right, then it's highly probable that we're going to look like those nations. All right? So we're scattered in the new world, and we're scattered amongst the nations in the old world. All right? So we were scattered over here in the new world, which is the Western Hemisphere, and we were scattered in amongst the other nations in the old world. All right, so you're going to have nations within nations. All right? Like it says in what
Yeah, I'll get it.
what Genesis 36.
Yeah, I'll get it.
When nations within nations.
Yep.
So you have the tribe of Judah, will have like 20 nations of the tribe of Judah. Right? Amongst Gad, you'll have like 100 nations amongst the tribe of Gad. Right? Good.
Yeah. This is Genesis 35:11. And Yahweh said unto him, I am Yahweh Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land.
Nation and a company of nations. Right? So our people will always consider multitude of nations. Right? We're never just one nation. So at minimum, you would have at least 2. All right, but the prophecy is more than 2. It says multitude. All right, many, multiple. All right. So we were one nation, then we were 2 nations, and as the prophecy progressed, we became hundreds of nations. So we're scattered throughout all the nations of the earth. So that fulfills the prophecy. If we would have never broke up into different nations, that prophecy would have never came to pass. Well, it came to pass because the curses came upon us, and we were scattered throughout the nations. So that prophecy came to pass, and it's full fruition.
It's a little more. It says Amos 9:9. It says, "For lo, I will command." It says, "And I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not." It says, "It says, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword." Which say,
"Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth." So we're going to be sifted from among the nations, all right, and not one is going to be left behind. So every single Israelite man, woman, and child that's scattered within the nations are going to be recovered and cleaned up. And we're going to come back to our righteous staple that we were, our righteous selves that we were. So all the sinners of my people, go ahead.
So all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
All right, so there's going to be a culling, a purging of wicked Israelites. But since they're Israelites, they're still going to be reincarnated back into the kingdom. All right, if they're here in America. Right? If you're here in America, Babylon, you're gonna be completely destroyed. There's no hope. You got some hope if you're outside of America. But if you in America, when the time of destruction comes, either you're gonna be delivered or destroyed. It's one or the other. It's more. You wanna read? What?
It says Amos 9:11. In that day, it says Amos 9:11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and it says, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins. It says, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen, which are called by my name, saith the Lord Yahweh that doeth this.
So the tabernacle of David is all 12 tribes. Right? Tabernacle of David is all the 12 tribes of Israel. So I believe during this time the kingdom was split during Amos' time. So Amos is saying he's going to recover the Israelites that are scattered throughout the world, and well, like it says, there should be no more 2 nations in my hand. It tells you that in the book of Ezekiel, it talks about these 2 sticks. Get that prophecy. Talk about the 2 sticks. And that's why we have the sign here, right here. It tells you about the tribes. Give me the prophecy in Ezekiel.
It says Ezekiel 37:22. It says, and it's like it says, yep. And I will make them. It's like it says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon all. It's like
you gotta read up.
Oh, it says, Ezekiel 37:21, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone. It says, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land.
Yeah, the heathen is basically all the nations that are outside of the land of Israel. So it would be from China, from Arabia, all right, to South America, to Russia, Antarctica, all right. Our people are scattered wherever nations are established. The farthest reaches where nations are established. I don't think anybody's in specifically Antarctica, but the farthest reach, Siberia, I meant to say. Siberia, good. What?
Yeah, verse 20, says, verse 22, Ezekiel 37:22, it says, and it's like it, and I will make them, it's like it. It says, Ezekiel 37:22, and I will make them, says, it's like it says Ezekiel 37:22, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. It says, and it's like, yeah,
We'll go at it. Let's get somebody else.
All right, so what's the chapter and verse in Ezekiel?
Read it in Hebrew. One nation. Read it in Hebrew.
Gone. So it says one nation. So la gawaya achad. So yeah, one nation.
In thy hand, in thy hand.
Gone. So yeah, gone. So yep. So yeah, that's it.
Read it in Hebrew.
Yeah. So it says nation la gawaya. So in the meaning nation, people, and it says of descendants of Abraham, of Israel.
No, just read it. I'll interpret it. Read it in Hebrew. I'll do the interpretation.
Gone. So yeah, so it says la gawaya achad for one nation.
What?
It says ba ratazat ba harya yashrala wa malak achad. It says Yahaya la kalam la malak wa la'a Yahayawa Iwad. It says lashanya gawayim wa la'a it says it says yachataz.
Read the word hand. Just read it in English. Read it in Hebrew and read the equivalent in English.
Gone. Yeah, so it says for land. Ba-ratazat.
Start over from the beginning.
Gone. So it says yes. So first one it says I shayathya, I will make and I will make. It says a thumb them la gawaya, nation achad one ba-ratazat in the land, baharya upon the mountains. Yashrala of Israel, wa malak and king, achad one, Yahaya shall be. It says la kalam to them all, la malak, king, wa la'a and no more. It's like it's an and no. It says Yahaya, it says they shall be. Iwad more, Lashanya two, Gawayim nations. Wala'a neither. It says Yachatazwa shall they be divided. Iwad anymore. It says La Shatia into two. And then La, it's like it says Ma yeah. And then it also says kingdoms.
Malakiyam or Malakiyam?
Yeah, Mama Lakwaf.
Alright, read it in English.
Ezekiel 37:22 says, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. It says, and they shall be no more two nations. It says, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
Yeah. So the nations or Gentiles, they're interchangeable. It's plural form of saying Israelites that are scattered. So anytime you read the New Testament, it talks about Gentiles being saved or Gentiles coming into the fold. It's referring to the prophecy that we read in Ezekiel. That's 37?
Yeah, 37.
All right. And Genesis 35. All right, it's not talking about new people that are not of the seed of Jacob.
Yep. Got precept.
Yep.
It's the book of James 1:1. James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. And I'm going to get that word for scattered, which is, Salaki.
That's diaspora?
Yeah, diaspora. So, yeah, that word for scattered is diaspora. It says a scattering, dispersion, of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations. All right, and
Israelites dispersed among foreign nations.
Yep.
All right, we're not talking about the nations themselves. We're talking about the Israelites that are scattered within those nations.
That's it.
All right. Because the scriptures clearly tell you, like you read in Revelation 2nd chapter, what's the designation, what's the final destination of the people that are not Israelites. It tells you they're going to be slaves.
Yep.
All right?
Yeah, I got another one. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Yeah, so there you go. All right, and that prophecy, you know, has already happened. You know, even during that time. All right, but it also happened. You know, it also continued to happen. All right, and when you get that word for scatter in the Hebrew, it says pawatazah. All right, and it says to scatter, be dispersed, be scattered. All right, and you know that was the curse that happened, all right, to the Israelites as a result of going off, you know, being scattered. All right, you know, losing our heritage. All right, being in captivity. All right, you know, as it said, serving gods that we have not known. You know, Israelites, you know, following these other different, you know, false religions and such. All right, worshiping the devil, right? Cesare. All right, that's a part of the curses.
Right. So when you go to Deuteronomy 32, Hosea 1 and 10, and Romans the 9th chapter, they're all talking about the same people. All right, so you get Deuteronomy 32, 16. You get Romans 9th chapter.
This is the book of Romans.
No, Deuteronomy 32 first.
Okay.
It says Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 16. So it says, so it says they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods.
You get Hosea 1 and 10 after.
Look at that. It says, with abominations provoked they him to anger. It says verse 17. Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 17. It says that they. It's like you can read it.
What's that?
Deuteronomy 32,
17.
Deuteronomy 32 and 17. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 and 17. It says, they sacrificed unto devils, not to the Most High, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Verse 18, of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten the Most High that formed thee. And when Yahweh saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face for them, and will see what their end shall be. They are a very froward generation, children in whom is no faith. Verse 21, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not the Most High. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Right. And those are Israelites. Okay, Hosea 1 and 10.
Yep.
That links up right with Hosea, well, the whole chapter, but well, because it says, Lo ami, or La I am Yah, not a people. All right, so that links back up Hosea 1, whatever verse that is, where it says Lo ami, or La I am Yah. It links back up with Deuteronomy 32, 21, which is the law. That's how we know that the Gentiles are the same people, because of the law and the prophecy links Israelites to being called not a people in a foolish nation. All right, and that links up with Romans the 9th chapter, 9 to 25, and I believe Romans the 10th chapter. All right, so read Romans.
The Romans or Hosea?
Hosea.
Hosea. You want where it says lo on me first? 1 and 9. Hosea 1 and 9. Then said the Most High, no, I'm sorry, verse 8. Now when she had weaned Lo-Ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son.
Which means no mercy.
Then said the power, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power.
Yeah, I'm Yah, not people, no people. Or not my people. I'm Yah, not my people.
Yep.
Roughly is translated. But
Verse 10, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
all right, so it's talking about the Israelites. All right, the Israelites were the one that symbolically was labeled Lo-Ruhamah and Lo-Ami. All right, and those two children represent Israelites.
Right.
All right, so no mercy, not my people.
Yep.
So that was the curse that came on the 12 tribes of Israel. So that curse, even though that curse came on the 12 tribes of Israel, the ending prophecy was the 10th verse. So read the 10th verse again.
Yep. Yet there's Hosea 1 and 10. It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Right, so back then, during the time of, you had the uncircumcised Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, they were considered not a people. All right.
Yep.
It was said that they were a people.
Yep.
All right. It was reiterated. It says, thus, so because what Paul and Barnabas says that because you didn't want to listen to the word preached to us, lo, we turn to the Gentiles, them that are not a people. And who did they teach? They taught Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that were uncircumcised. All right. That's why that statement was made in the book of Acts, because the circumcision was acting like, they was scoffing. They didn't believe that the Messiah was Yahweh Shai. And that Paul and Barnabas were sent by the Messiah. So Paul and Barnabas basically said, fuck y'all. We're going to the uncircumcised Israelites, them that are not our people. All right.
If I just add to it, because you kind of started this lesson with the fact of the seed and the lineage and the forefathers is how you track your lineage. But even here it says it's in the verse it says ye are the sons of the living power, and that's how the lineage goes, by the sons. As the sons go on, as the lineage goes on, as the family tree goes on, it's based upon the seed of the sons and of the fathers, right? The fathers down to the sons. So that's how you're the sons of the living power, based upon the lineage, right? I got another precept on that too.
Yeah, so the disciples the apostles didn't just start teaching the Gentiles because they were just mad at them and now they want to break the laws.
Yep.
They started teaching people that are not Israelites. No, it was teaching the Gentiles anyway. It was just, they got into very specific arguments and they said, you know what, we're just going to open up the gospel fully to the Gentiles because it was already open up to them anyway, but it had to be a time period for that to happen. So it was a time period when the Lord said, don't even teach none of the uncircumcised Israelites yet. Don't even teach them at all. But then when the Lord passed away and he was resurrected on the third day, it was given commandment to go out and preach amongst the Israelites that are uncircumcised, which were being labeled nations, Gentiles. All right, now, according to prophecy and according to the law, that's a proper label. But when they come back to their heritage, then they be called Israelites again. Mm-hmm. But there's something else. No. All right, so go to Romans 9 to 24. We can really start from.
So I don't know if you want it. I do got Galatians 3 about the seed. Yeah. Yeah.
Romans 9. 25 is the point. Go on, read a little bit more.
We're gonna go up. Okay. This is Romans 9 and 21. I'll start at. I can start at 18. Have mercy on him. It's Romans 9 and 18. It says, "Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he harden. Thou wilt say then unto me, doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that replies against the Most High?"
Yeah, who hath resisted his will? We're operating on the will of Yahweh Shai, not our own will.
Yeah. You know what's funny? It is a really hard pill to swallow, that the Lord is going to give mercy on whom he wants to give mercy, and then not show mercy who he doesn't want to show mercy. But these everyday Christians think that the Most High deserves to show mercy to everybody. But that's not really for them to decide or understand that, you know?
Yeah, one way to look at it is we went to the hardcore slavery.
Yep.
And so much, you got Puerto Ricans thinking that their original language was Spanish.
Yep.
Puerto Rican, they actually think that the original language is fucking Spanish.
Yep.
All right? You got my grandma just passed away. She had this picture up in her house.
Yep, hanging up.
She had this picture up. I said, oh shit. That devil was hiding in the corner. I said, oh, he's right. I saw him though. He had the Masonic symbol up like that.
Yep.
Like that. I'm not making a hand gesture, I'm just saying. That's how Esau had his hand up like that with them jaws. And he had Chester the Boy, she had Chester the Boy here in the house. So the tribe of Judah was made to be a servant to Esau. That's why in the churches they try to argue, oh, the color don't mean nothing, color don't matter. Well, if it don't matter, then why the fuck you got this picture of it? Color don't matter. Apparently it does matter, because you gave him a damn color.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you gave him a complexion, and you gave him a tone and a manner. You know, he's always this nice, pious guy that loves everybody. That's not in his precepts.
Yep, there you go.
It said the Lord is a man of war. When the disciples came to him and said, show us the Father, then Yahweh Shai said, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father.
Yep.
So that's the manner. So we know, we look at the Father, his description, we get how the Lord is. We get the manner and the mindset of the Messiah by looking at the Father. Give me that precept where it says revealed Father, to reveal the Father to us. And he said, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father. Roughly. So we know the manner of the Lord, you know? And we know that the Messiah was bound to being guided by the Holy Spirit. He wasn't supposed to come back and destroy. That wasn't a time period.
Exactly.
What the Messiah was supposed to do was to teach Israel, reveal certain things to the disciples, and then we were supposed to carry the torch. And he was supposed to die and be resurrected on the third day. Be put to death and be resurrected on the third day. That's what he's supposed to do during his life on earth as the Messiah. All right. Now his second coming, he's going to do something different. All right. He ain't going to teach. Second coming, Yahweh Shai ain't going to be doing no teaching. The teaching was left to the succession of the apostles. All right. So we're at the succession, the continuing succession of the apostles. So we're supposed to be teaching. Yahweh Shai is coming back. He ain't going to teach nothing. All right. He's going to be coming back and shooting his laser fire, destroying and saving the elect. All right? Our job is to teach. Yahweh Shai already taught. He already finished that course. All right. Now we're being taught, in the Spirit, with the Holy Spirit. But when he makes the second coming, Yahweh Shai not to be teaching. All right, continue. Where we left off?
Back in Romans. This is Romans 9 and verse 18. It says, therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Thou wilt say unto me,
and whom he will he hardeneth. Yeah. So just on that fact, you can't, you are a bad person, now he made you hard to understand the truth. That's not what it means. It means whom the Lord wills. You have no say-so.
Yep.
You have no say-so whatsoever whether you have a bad thought or a good thought. Whether you have understanding when you get to 50 years old or you get understanding when you're 14 years old. You don't have a say-so in the fact. All right? You got brothers that come into the faith when they're young and they're teenagers, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You got brothers that come in at 30. You got brothers that come in at 40, 50, and 60. You don't have no say-so whatsoever whether the Lord block your understanding or not, or you meet the right teachers. All right. Go ahead.
It says, "That will say unto me, why doth he That will say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will?"
Yeah, why do you find? You can't find fault.
Yeah.
Well, you would find fault if you believe that you got free will. So, and that's what the church, the brick and mortar Catholic Church, the Christian Church, Christendom, or anti-Christendom, but Christendom as it's called today, they got it wrong. They do find fault. So where you find fault? Read that verse again when you find about finding fault.
Yep.
They do find fault. They find fault because they believe they have free will. Go ahead.
"That will say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will?"
Yeah, you can't resist the will of the powers, the spirits.
Yep.
We're controlled by.
Brothers, I'm gonna move my car. Look like it's in the way. I'll be back.
You can't find fault. Well, you can find fault, but it's not authentic. Okay. Because you got different people like he who should not be named. That guy like to follow the different Israelite camps around. Because he's insignificant to me. Every time I see a video with him face in there, he's an annoying pest. And I don't learn anything. He's just saying the same shit. You know, that's wrong. So I pretty much got his whole thing down. So he's not interested in me anymore. So he used to be, but he's not anymore. But you find fault because you believe you are operating under your own power. All right, continue.
Yep. Verse 19 says, "For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?"
Jacob and Esau. One vessel unto honor and the other into dishonor. Jacob is honorable.
Yep.
Dishonorable is Esau. He's
Yep.
the wicked. He's the being that was given the blessing
Yep,
of the weapons, war.
Yep. Yahweh is the potter.
Yahweh is the potter. All right, he gave the blueprint to
Yeah,
Yahweh
exactly.
Shai.
Yep.
Yahweh Shai, he created us
Yep.
with his power.
It says,
But they operate out of the same house, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
It says, "Had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?"
Yeah, so he created a vessel of wrath fitted to destruction. He created Esau. All right? So why would there be so much emphasis on Esau? Where Paul is giving a history lesson? Well, he can do that, but this has prophetic significance. Meaning that there are certain things that are going to happen in the future after Paul. All right? What?
Verse 23, "And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had prepared unto glory."
Yep. Vessels of mercy, which the Israelites are going to obtain.
Yep.
Like it tells you that up in the first couple of verses. The glory and the covenant and the giving of the law, of whom Hamashiach came, according to the flesh, are the Israelites. Go ahead.
"Even us, whom he hath called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles."
All right, we explain who the Gentiles were very clearly. Go ahead. They're the Israelites. Go ahead.
Verse 25, "As he saith also in Hosea, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not my beloved," or Hosea.
Right, Hosea 1 and 10. Hosea 1 and 9, 8, all the way read from Hosea, the whole chapter. All right. So that's how we know that the Israelite Gentiles, or the Gentiles, well, Gentiles is a generic phrase, generic word.
Yep.
You have to apply context to Gentile.
Yep.
All right. So the context he brought was Hosea, the first chapter. All right. So Hosea, the first chapter, is talking about Israelites. It's not talking about no heathen nation whatsoever. Hosea, the first chapter. It's talking about purely Israelites that were not going to get mercy, and that were going to be called not my people. And then the ending prophecy, the final destination was them that were not my people shall be my people. All right, so that's the proper breakdown. So that's how we know all the scriptures are linked together. When it comes to the mystery of the Gentiles, which is not a mystery to us anymore. All right? Or who they are. I mean, well, breaking it down, as you say.
Yep.
The Gentile, Goyim, Goya, Ethnos, Ethnon. All right, and then you got Helen. All right, Helen. And you got Helen, and you got Hellenistas. All right, they're both talking about the biblical Israelites.
Yeah.
Some will have more knowledge of who they are than the other. All right, initially anyway. So you got Ethnon, or Ethnos, Helen, and Hellenistas. They're all talking about the Israelites when it pertains to salvation. All right. Go ahead. What verse you on?
Back in 25.
I read 25.
This is verse 25 in Romans chapter 9. It says, as he saith also in Hosea, I will call them my people, which were not my people, and her beloved, which was not beloved. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power.
Right. So the Gentiles are the Israelites. Yeah, Hosea doesn't say anything about non-Israelites. The whole chapter is referring to Israelites being portrayed as Gentiles. All right. So Paul reiterates that these Gentiles, who the apostles are going out, the Greek-speaking apostles that were going out to preach amongst the Greek-speaking world back then, that they are the Israelites in the scriptures. All right. They just happen to have less knowledge. They were uncircumcised. Less knowledge of how the scriptures, the scrolls, how to read the Hebrew. All right. And some of them did, like the Hellenistas. Then you had the Hellenistas. Then you had the Hellen, which were less or completely ignorant, less knowledgeful or completely ignorant of their heritage. And it's blended in with the other nations, with their culture, and they totally forgot who they were. You go out Ephesians, Galatians.
Yeah, you wanted Galatians?
Yeah, get Galatians 4, I think, or Galatians 3.
I was gonna bring out Galatians 3 if you wanted that,
Yeah,
about the seed. Yeah. I'm gonna start at 3 and 16. Is Galatians chapter 3 verse 16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach. And this
right, so if seed was only made under one, that means it was Isaac.
No, I was going to say, I think you brought this out before too. The word seed there comes from the Greek word sperma, which also comes from the Latin word sperm. Sperm, where sperm comes from seed.
Seed.
What you plant into the woman, you know. It's what was planted into Mary by Joseph. That where Hamashiach, our Lord Yahushua, came from, which was from the seed and lineage of Judah.
Right. There's no reason for anyone to believe that Joseph wasn't his father.
Yeah.
That's an afterthought that Joseph wasn't the father. So that means Joseph had to lie when he took him to get circumcised. He had to lie when he took him to the house of worship to get blessed, appear before the priest. well, I'm not really his father. I'm just going to lie and pretend that I was his father. That's what they want us to believe. Joseph had no right to take Yahushua to the priest if he wasn't the father.
Yep.
No right whatsoever. He would have to be another family member or something. He's not the father. You're supposed to take your own children too. Not your nephew. That's your parents' job. Unless your nephew's parents died, then it'll go to next of kin. So why would Joseph show up? So that means Joseph's cousin have to show up. Because Joseph wasn't the father, according to Roman Catholicism and Christian.
Right. And then you have to say, okay, well then the seed came from Mary. So it was like Mary's lineage down to Mary's seed that made Yahushua that seed. But that's
Joseph showed up. Mary didn't just show up by herself.
Exactly. Yep.
Joseph showed up and lied. All right, and pretended. So he lived his whole life as a lie. See, when you actually break it down, that shit don't make sense.
It doesn't.
Joseph he lived his whole life lying to everybody, lying to his family members. Like, I'm not really the father. I'm just kind of standing in.
Yeah.
You know, he's not really my son, but I'm gonna treat you like my son. You know. Yeah. So even if he did adopt him, he was lying, telling everybody that was the actual son. That's the other thing they say. Oh, he was adopted.
Yeah.
See, I already went through this. So he lied. Did he tell anybody else that he adopted him? No. He told that was his real son. So that shit don't make sense. All right, because Joseph really is the father.
Yep.
All right,
that's it.
But according to the world, they just leave the nuance out. All right, lying. So Joseph lived a lie his whole life, going around telling people that he adopted Yahushua. I'm sure he didn't say that. He said he basically was saying that this is my son. This is my son. All right, as the scriptures say, of the seed of David. All right, there was no reason to believe that lineage transferred to the mother, specifically for Yahushua. But for everybody else, it's lineage is according to the father.
Yeah.
But specifically for Yahushua, see, this is then names had to incorporate other cultures into Hebrew Israelite culture to make that work. All right, that's not in the Israelite culture. It's not in the Israelite custom. Like it's within our custom, okay, not the law. It's in our custom that a woman's supposed to have her head covered. All right, and Yahushua backs up that custom. All right, because Mary had her head covered, the mother of Yahushua. All right, Mary had her head covered. The patriarchs' wives had their head covered. All right. So it's a fact that your lineage comes from your father. All right. Paternity. However, with the Christendom, the lineage transfers to your mother. That's outside of the Hebrew Israelite culture and custom. It's not biblical. That your lineage transfers to Mary, specifically for one birth. Because before that and after that, the lineage was always by the father. All right? So give me, you got something else you want to read?
Yeah, I got some. This is the book of Romans 1 and 3 concerning his son, Yahushua HaMashiach our Lord, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh, and declared to be the son of Yahweh with power, according to the spirit of holiness, by the resurrection from the dead.
All right.
Yeah. So there you go. He was made of the seed of David according to the flesh. All right. You can read that lineage in Matthew the 1st chapter, as we just read. All right. So it goes into it. He was made from the seed. How was he made from the seed of David according to the flesh? If he just came from
Holy Spirit.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit, you know.
Right. Now it's possible for the Lord to do anything, for the Most High to do anything. He can make a spirit come from no father. He can make a birth happen with no mother.
Yep.
He can make you appear just on earth, but that's not how the Lord was birthed.
Right.
The Lord was birthed through natural means with its same Israelite custom made under the law.
Yep. Yep. Tribe of Judah.
Yeah, of the tribe of Judah, the nation of Israel. So get Galatians 4. 4 and 4.
Is Galatians chapter 4, verse 4. But when the fullness of the time was come, the Most High sent forth His Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. And because ye are sons, the Most High has sent forth the Spirit of His Son into your hearts, crying, Abba, Father.
Yeah, so the adoption of sons, meaning that the uncircumcised Israelites and the Israelites that are scattered still can come into the fold to receive the kingdom. Right? That's what adoption means. These Israelites that were first outside of the covenant because of transgressions, all right, still are going to come into the fold. Look up adoption.
Yep. So I was looking up the word heir too, because that has meaning there. All right, adoption here. It says,
Wrap up.
It's like adoption here. Adoption of sons, the Greek word huothesia. I'm saying that right? Probably not. Huothesia. The adoption, let's see. The relationship which the Most High was pleased to establish between Himself and the Israelites in preference to all other nations.
Right, what are those preferences? We've been reading them.
Yep.
Kingdom.
Yep.
Preference to all other nations. So it's not going to be a multinational nation. Because it tells you what, 3 Corinthians 15, 2 Corinthians 20:11, we shall be changed. Corinth, Greece. Yeah, Israelites that was in Corinth, that were in Athens.
Yep. This is 1 Corinthians 15, and I'll start at 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither doth corruption inherit corruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Yep, dead will be raised. That twinkle of an eye.
Structure.
You're not going to have men that are not Israelites that are going to be changed.
Yep.
Only the Israelites are going to be changed. So the Israelites that were amongst the diaspora in Corinth, Greece, and Athens, that are of the elect, are going to be changed. All right, first. And then the rest of the Israelites after. All right, all of us are going to inherit, superhuman bodies, but we're going to be in different levels. As it is written, them that turn many to righteousness shall shine as the stars of heaven. What's the paraphrase? I believe it's Zephaniah, Zechariah. Continue with
Yep. 1 Corinthians 15 and 53. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Verse 54. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Verse 55. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our Lord, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Death is swallowed up in victory, so that means the Israelites are going to not die anymore. No Israelites are going to die. The other nations are still going to die and have their burial. We're not going to have any burials. There's going to be no bands in our camp. Right? So, for a funeral. Right? Now the other nations, they're going to die. They're going to die like men, like regular men. We're not going to die anymore. We're going to be immortal.
Yep.
No death.
Yep.
No death whatsoever.
Pain or sickness.
Go back to Romans 9. Go 9 and 1. Then go back to Psalms 9.
This is Romans 9 and 1. It says, I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants.
All right, so the adoption is only talking about the Israelites. So if you adopted back into the fold, the only people that can be adopted is the uncircumcised Israelites, the Israelites that lost their heritage, that died, their nationality, their identity. All right, so the adoption only belongs to the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for a key to find out what the adoption means, who it belongs to, it's only referring to Israel. What?
It says, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises, whose are the fathers and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen.
All right, so we know the Gentiles are, you read it again.
Yep.
That's how we know the Gentiles are the Israelites. So from the first verse again?
Yep. Romans 9 and 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises, whose are the fathers and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen.
Yeah, so the Yahweh Shah manifests to take away the sins of the Israelites, no matter what their current status was. All right, so not some, but all of Israel. All right? Also known as the world. So God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whoever shall believe in Him shall not perish, but shall inherit everlasting life. So we know if you believe in this image here, you don't believe in it. So that's not so. 99% of Christians don't believe in the Lord because they believe in this image. All right, this is the true image. All right, so if you believe in a non-biblical image, you don't believe in the Lord because you believe He have the same attributes and the vestige, the countenance of this guy. All right, so this is a totally different personality. Totally different personality. This is a totally different person than the Messiah of the Bible. The Messiah of the Bible has a personality more so akin to what you see here. All right, it's the proper personality and countenance.
You can read it. Yep, it's verse 7. Verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
Yeah, that's how we know that the Gentiles are the Israelites.
Neither, because they are the seed of Abraham, are they all children.
All right, so why will Paul be going into this? So the children represent the people that are going to be saved, the children of the kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Promises, yeah.
So we tell you that there's a difference. So just because you believe or you had mercy, that's all irrelevant. Right? You have to be of the seed of Jacob. All right? Go ahead.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children.
Meaning what? Ishmael.
Yep.
Ishmael is not the children of the spirit. He's simply the children of the flesh.
Yep.
In this respect, that's what it's referring to. It's saying he was not chosen. That Jacob was chosen. Right?
But the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
Yeah, the seed of Jacob. All right, so it's impossible for the other nations to be the children of the promise. The promises belong to the Israelites.
Yep. It's counted by the seed, not by just some old, like these Christians believe that anybody can just, get the promises, get the salvation.
That would be the flesh.
Yep, that would exactly. That would be the flesh. That has nothing because they say that when Jesus came in, he was just picking people out like you're part of the promises. That it was just all of it, all the Old Testament stuff was done away with. But that's clearly not. It's based upon the seed. So the people that Yahushua was preaching to was those of the seed, that could receive this word.
The chosen seed of Isaac.
Yep.
Which was Jacob. Yep.
Verse 9. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand.
There we go. Purpose according to election. Purpose according to election might stand.
Yep.
So Esau was created to be wicked.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and these anti-Christians cannot get over that.
Tell us.
Cannot get over that Esau was created to be wicked. So it's according to the purpose, not what opportunity you think someone has. They had the opportunity to do something good, the opportunity to read the scriptures. No, it's according to the purpose of the spirits that were before us. They created the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't create the rules.
Yeah, that's why Paul also said the potter has control over the vessel. He had control over to manifest and create however he wanted to create it.
So read that verse again.
Yep.
According to the purpose.
Oh shit, I just lost it. Scroll down. It says, for the verse 11, Romans 9:11 says, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Yeah, not of works. So that's a cut right there. So it's not according to what you do. All right. So if an Israelite did the most wicked things on earth, he's still an Israelite. He's still going to be cleansed and saved. All right. He might die here in America, but he's going to be reborn in the kingdom. Esau can do as much good as he wants. That doesn't make him an Israelite. So not according to your will. It's according to election.
Got precept.
Good.
This is the book of Proverbs 16:4. The Lord hath made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Yeah, it's perfection. It's perfection. Read that again.
Yep. Proverbs 16:4. It says, the Lord hath made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Yeah, so it wasn't because Esau wanted to be wicked. That's the way he was created. It's not his fault. All right? It's not his fault. What happened, happened. You can say the same thing about us. We went into slavery because, it's not our fault. The Lord, the scripture that the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly. So we went off from following the Lord because the Lord put a spirit in us to be wicked at that time. So now he's also going to put the spirit in us to do the right thing at the last time. It's not about how you started, but how you finish. So the Lord, we're going to finish the right way. And Esau, he's still finishing the wrong way, and he's compelled to do that. So the elect of us, Yahushua Ratazah, which means Yahushua will. All right, we are counted among them saints that are delivered, among them saints that are counted to be righteous.
Okay.
So let me get let's bring out Psalms 91. Go back to Psalms 91. Go back into the Alice Shadia.
Yeah, this is the book of Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust.
What?
Verse 3, surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
The snare of the fowler, which I believe that's the person that catches birds, a fowler. Snare of the trap. Deliver thee from the snare. And who's the one doing all the damn evil? Esau, Edom. He's doing all the evil. The snare, the fowler, which is the trap of the trap. A trap. Say the same thing in Job. A snare and a gin is a trap. Trap. What?
Yep, verse 4, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
He's going to cover us with protection, no matter what form that may come in. Come in the form of an angel, or come in the form of a shield, or guidance, you know. But during this time, you know, however the Lord delivers, He's going to deliver us before the ultimate salvation. He's going to protect His elect. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Verse 7.
Yeah, that's referring to the nuclear missiles, the hellfire. All right, the Third World War is going to take place via the nations shooting their nuclear missiles on America, on Babylon. That's how the Third World War going to take place. They're going to stop fighting each other, and they're going to go fight the Yahushua. All right, and after they lose that damn battle, or simultaneously, they're going to shoot their missiles on Babylon, America. All right, so they don't have to be fighting war on two fronts, fighting each other, but then their nuclear arsenal is going to be for their countries. And all the missiles that are controlled by America are going to turn back around and hit America. So the missiles that Esau is going to shoot over in the United States, they're going to shoot up. And then when they're in the air, that's when the Lord is going to take control of them. They're going to go either to the land of Israel, or they're going to come back down to America. But the Spirit of the Lord is going to be controlling those missiles. Well, that's the Lord's army. The Lord's army is controlled by the Messiah, by Yahushua. What?
Verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee.
Yeah, so when America, Babylon is destroyed, the pestilence that flieth, and the arrow, pestilence walking in the darkness, the arrows, that's the hellfire. All right, and it says that the elect are going to be delivered from the wicked. All right, it's going to die here in Babylon, America. So that lake of fire, that hellfire, that torment is going to be here in America. All right? And they're going to be tormented for a certain time, and then they're not going to be tormented anymore. All right, but the fire is still going to be burning. The fire of the torment is still going to be burning, but the people that were in the fire, they're only going to be in the fire for a certain amount of time. And then their spirit going to be released into the spirit world. Right? Because the scriptures say the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. Not them specifically, the smoke of their torment, because they're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone, in the book of Revelation says. But they're not going to be in the fire being tormented forever. It said the smoke is going to go up forever. They're not going to be suffering in the fire forever and ever. All right? Now, the heathen, the other form of torment is going to be the slavery. That's torment also. All right? The slavery that the other nations are going to be in, that's torment.
Nope. Not.
Right? Torment doesn't necessarily mean fire. It can mean fire, but it means, slavery also. Like a storm. That's a tempest. Right? Water. A tidal wave, a tornado. That's torment. A ship caught in a storm, that's torment. All right. So you do have the hellfire, but then you have the torment of slavery. Continue.
Psalms 91:10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.
Yeah, so we know that the hellfire and salvation they go hand in hand. Go ahead.
Verse 11, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set.
Yeah, so Esau, the lion and dragon is Esau. All right, not talking about a physical lion and a physical dragon, which don't even exist. All right, a leviathan or a serpent. That's talking about people, the young lion and the. So Esau, Edom, is not going to have dominion over the Lord's elect. All right. During the time of our salvation, the elect are going to ascend, they're going to be raptured, okay? After we go through tribulation, we're going to be caught and snatched away from the hellfire. And that's what the elect are going to be saved from. Because simultaneously...
Yeah, just stop it.
Yeah, sure. We're about to wrap up another 5 minutes, so give 5 minutes. So simultaneously, the elect are going to be saved when the hellfire is coming down. I know what hell is? According to the Bible, hell?
Yeah.
Go ahead, break it down real quick.
I look at hell as like a condition of life.
Right, condition on earth.
Experience on earth.
Right, yeah. Right. It can mean fire too, but when it talks about the scriptures, it talks about you have one portion, you got the hellfire that's actually going to occur, all right. But then the torment is going to be the slavery of the other nations in our kingdom, all right. But you know the Christians, they well, if you worship this image here, this is the proper image. If you worship, you know who this guy is? It's an actual person. I mean, it's the actual person.
Yeah, I don't know what he actually is.
Yeah, that's Cesare Borgia. Cesare Borgia. You heard the Borgias TV show?
Borgias?
Yeah, the Borgias. That's the same. This is the same guy. They call him the first crime family. I believe they had 2 shows. They had one on Showtime.
Yeah, Showtime. Yeah.
And there's another one on another network. But it showed you in the late 1300s, 1400s, early 1400s, how they bought their way to be the Pope. But originally the popes were so-called black people over in Italy. All right, and then through process of time and the so-called white man who lived, amongst the people back then. Because the whole thing about the conquering of Europe from Rome, the different Caesars conquering Europe. Looking to the history, was about like genocide and stealing the resources. So out of Rome, you had so-called white people that came out of Rome that conquered the native Germanic tribes and the native Europeans. So that whole thing was about, and they spread their language. The Latin letters, like the English we read is Latin letters. Before Latin, they had their native like Germanic characters and language and culture. And when Julius Caesar and people, other so-called white people before him and after him conquered Europe, they spread their seed as well as their culture and language. This is why mostly all of Europe uses Latin letters. All right, so those whole campaigns was about genocide. And take it up to modern time period, let's say late 1400s, well, late 1300s, early 1400s, Esau did, the so-called white man did the same thing. Genocide of the New World this time.
Are these in line with each other?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. You read it from from left to right. You read that, or right to left. Yeah, you read right to left because you speak English, right?
So pretty much.
Yeah.
All of these tribes.
They were all genocided by the so-called white man.
It was all one. All of these.
Right.
Different.
Yeah, and then during different time periods. Well, give me about the Syrian Empire. Northern Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so at one time, well, you gotta go into the history. It's like you gotta at one time we were. You asked a question?
No, so you said in the Apocrypha you talk about when it.
Yeah. 10 tribes.
Yeah.
So at one time we were one nation. Then we were two nations. Then after we broke up into two nations, then we basically became like a multitude of nations, like 100 nations.
Where was this nation originally? The first, where we was all one.
We were in the land. We were in the land of Israel, the so-called Levant.
Was that King David's time?
Well, before King David. Yeah, before King David. Yeah. Well, David kind of united it under one king.
Right.
Yeah. Well, before King David, he was united under one king. Well, first it was with Moses. Moses, he technically was the first king, Moses. And then we had the judges. Well, then we formed Israel by genociding the actual Canaanites. That's what we did. We genocided. Gotta keep it, 100, right? We genocided the Canaanites and pushed them out of the land, all right? And then you had a question?
Genocide came. They scattered across the world, apparently. And would you agree that these 12 tribes have reassembled somewhere?
No. Yeah, we did not the whole nation. No, large percentage of us, yeah, but not the whole nation.
Basically, I'm saying
that's
like
impossible
us here in America.
Well, that's not. We're not complete. It's incomplete. It's incomplete because you still have our people scattered in the other nations. The only way we're going to come back together completely is with the Messiah himself completely. It's impossible for us to be completely gathered right now.
Word. Just wanted to blend it here, that's all.
Shalom.
Yeah, so the Messiah, like you got the so-called Jews, they don't really break it down, but they'll say they've assembled themselves from the scattering in Europe. They'll say that. But and then they won't even talk about the other tribes. All right, so they describe the so-called Jays that wear the little hats. They describe themselves as Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, but they're really just Edomites. They're Edomites. All right, because it tells you in the prophecy was that Ezekiel 34, I think, about call their land after my name. Yeah. And that. When the Israelites return, we're going to return via the Messiah.
Yep, I got it.
Not by the world governments and British and Americans.
Yeah. Or us assembling together by ourselves.
You said what's the Messiah?
What are you referring to?
You were saying for it to come together or something? You said
for our nation to come together into one nation.
I got the precept.
The way we're going to come together as one nation is going to be by the Messiah, by the way of. By the way of the Messiah, going to bring us together. We can't it's physically impossible for us to come together by natural means. It's impossible.
Hey, can I just say one thing? You ever heard of Voltron?
Yeah.
You know them bodies is the symbol of Voltron, coming together as Christ.
Hey, man. That's a good analogy.
Got a precept real quick?
Go.
It's Isaiah 11 and 11, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Yeah, the so-called second coming.
Yep.
Second coming of the Messiah.
Yep.
So read it again.
It says, as Isaiah 11 and 11 says, it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. We shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
All right, that's a scripture that brother should have heard.
Yep.
He was alluding to all the tribes are already here in America. No, that's the precept.
Yep.
That's the precept that should have came out.
Yep. Next verse, it says, and shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Yeah, and in each corner, that doesn't mean the earth is flat, by the way.
Right.
All right, that doesn't mean the earth is flat. All right, the four corners. That was You had the brothers in L.A. They got kicked out, or they left because they got that doctrine.
They got by that.
Yeah, got by that. And these are the brothers that are supposed to be highly intelligent brothers. That was from Los Angeles.
Yeah, but don't know how to draw a bird.
That couldn't draw a bird. Yeah, they drew the four corners. They drew
a dome.
The dome. The water coming in. The sun. So that's why you never know what somebody's thinking. the different doctrines, man. That's why I'm glad they made that lesson, and that was completely out of order too, to make that lesson.
Yeah.
First of all, if you came to a new doctrine, that's not something you should start teaching automatically. You got to bring that to your elders, and if that's not according to what we teach, then you can either teach it, but you can't teach it with us. You can teach it, but you can't teach it with us.
Yeah, not under our banner. Yep.
Yeah, you can't teach it under our banner. But they just started teaching that shit. I said, oh shit.
Yep.
When did that happen?
Years ago. That's
2 years ago?
no, that's
way
like
longer
that's like
back.
2015 type.
2015?
Yeah, that's back there. That was back when we were teaching on Market Street.
Marcus,
Yeah. On the second side of Market Street, though. So it wasn't that early. It was the second side that not
in front of the school.
in front of the school. Yeah, right around that time, I believe.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, they actually started teaching.
But that's going to show you, man. We haven't taught Market Street in a long ass time, man. It's been that long.
How long y'all been here?
Y'all been about a year now?
September 2023.
September.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
2
so-
years.
so
2
yes.
years.
Oh, 2023 y'all been in? You had a Delaware camp for 2 years now?
2 years?
I don't believe that. That's crazy.
September 2023.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was down in Newark and I was like, man, I must be the only GMS in Delaware.
Oh, shit.
Until I seen y'all.
Yeah, we said we can't start coming here
Yeah.
2 years ago. Yeah.
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 But yeah, so there you have it. That the one who's gonna bring us all together is gonna be Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Like the brother made a good point. Like there's nothing that we can do. That's why we can't just up and try to fight against our oppressors, because it's not up for us to fight against our oppressors. It says
But we
that,
don't have the power anyway.
yeah. It says it
If
says
we did, then we would, and we would defeat them.
Right.
I mean, that'd be easier. Bro, if we had the power, yeah, we would do it. We don't have no damn power. He saw power. We inside his country that he stole.
yeah, it says you gotta
Our
wait
power is-
upon the Lord. It
yeah,
says
our power is not in like weapons and shit.
That's
If that was our power, then we would fucking use it.
Yep.
It's not our
Yeah.
power.
That's what Yahweh Shai wants to do.
We ain't gonna have a bunch of power and then we not gonna use it. Oh,
Yeah.
we can take Esau down now.
Yeah, right,
But we
right.
not gonna do it.
Yeah.
We can't go. We don't have no damn power.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
So if we get the power, we'll fucking use
exactly.
it.
Yep. And there's many examples of that. Like look at Samuel. Look at all the power of his armies. That way they were able to take down the enemies and stuff like that. Shoot, the way we got the land of Israel by the hand of the Canaanites was the power that the Lord instilled in Israel to take that land over.
Right. Yeah.
So like the brother said, when we get the power, we're gonna use it. That's why it says we're gonna dash the little ones against the stones. We're gonna use a rod of iron to bash them up.
Going to dash somebody on the stone and then we get arrested next week. Do we don't got that mean we got a damn power?
Exactly. Yep.
It's fucking stupid. We're gonna dash them and dash them on the stone,
jail for life.
and then you can jail for life.
Yeah.
Okay, that mean we don't have no power.
Yep.
We just committed a crime,
Yep.
according to Esau. All right. But you got these mentally slow people out there. They're that stupid. That's why we don't fuck with most of you. Most of you people are crazy.
Yep.
All right. As soon as you start talking, we gotta ignore. We gotta change subject. Move on. All right. Because they're basically mentally ill. But we don't deal with mentally ill people. All right. We stick to what the scriptures say, and that's it. We don't add anything to it. We don't take away. We stick to what the prophecies and the law says.
Yep.
All right. There's something called the law of Yahweh Shai. All right. The law of the world ignorantly calls Christ or Jesus. The law of Yahweh Shai. All right. That's what we're governed under. All right. So go back to what you were reading before.
Where are we at now? The first verse of Psalms. Is it, talking about that? Or, well, as I'm saying, that's where we started. You're talking about you want to go all the way back that way.
Did we read the whole Psalms? Why don't you go back to Psalms?
Oh, we were reading Psalms. So.
Psalms, yeah. Yeah, we didn't finish it yet, I don't think. Let me see.
Okay, the dragon.
Yeah, we was on the dragon, yeah. Psalms 91 and 13. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall trample under feet. Or shalt thou trample under feet. Verse 14, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name.
Yeah, deliver from what? From what? The fire. The hellfire is going to destroy Babylon, America. That's what we're being delivered from. What?
Yep, verse 15, he shall call upon me, and I will answer him, and I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him.
In trouble, he's going to deliver us. What?
Verse 16, with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation.
With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. So this is not a universal precept to comfort everybody on the earth. This is to comfort the Israelites. All right, because they have the other nations have a different designation. They have a different destination. Okay, they are not the same destination. It's the Great Gulf Fixed. So give me that in Luke, and we'll end it with that. Luke, there's a great gulf fixed between us and them, Lazarus, the parable of Lazarus. Now this is a parable. All right, so it wasn't. It's not going to be a hell where you're going to wake up in the fire, burn and shit. That's not even what he's talking about. The fire, the heat that he's experiencing, the torment that he's experiencing, is the slavery, the workload for the day. Picking the grapes and the fruits, and the elderberries and the different berries and watermelons and melons, kiwis. It's going to grow all year round, by the way. It's not going to be seasonal. Everything's going to continually grow. Great Gulf Fixed. It should come right out.
Yep.
Go ahead, read it.
Luke 16, and go straight to the point, or all right, kind of sloop. Luke 16 and 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day.
This represents Esau. This is a parable, all right, describing the condition that Esau is going to be going through and that Jacob is going to be going through. How he fared in his previous life, and how he's going to fare after his previous life. All right, good.
Verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
Lazarus represents the Israelites. Good.
Which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass
dogs are the other nations. Good.
And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried.
Yeah, that's going to the kingdom. We went to the kingdom. All right. Good.
And in hell he lift up his eyes, being
in hell. So the Christians break it down. Are they going to be burning and fire? I mean, screaming and shit forever and ever and ever and ever and ever? No, that's not what's going to happen. It says in hell he lifted up his eyes. All right. So that means what? He's in torment, meaning his workload for the day, for at least 1,000 years before he's destroyed, is going to be torment. All right. Good.
Verse 23, and in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
Yeah.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest
heat, fire. When you when we take the bitter herb during Passover, that's fire. That's heat.
Okay.
All right. The sun not gonna light on us. The sun's gonna be on Esau's back and his neck. All right. But that's the torment that Esau is going through. All right. That he will go through. All right. So this is a parable. What?
Verse 25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receive thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
All right, Jacob and Esau. All right. So Esau is going to be tormented, and Jacob is going to be comforted. All right.
And beside all this, between us and you there was a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence.
Yeah, so it's no interchanging of spirits between Jacob and Esau. We cannot take each other's place. They have their destination, we have our destination. Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 27, then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house.
And this is a parable. This didn't actually happen. All right? Esau is not going to be able to call on the Messiah and get the Lord's ear and have a conversation with him. Okay? This didn't actually happen. This is a parable. Esau's not going to be able to call on the Lord like, hey, why am I here? Can you? And then he just told you to, so I guess he in hell, burn him in hell by himself. You know? He ain't talking about any of his brothers there with him. It's a parable to describe the conditions of Esau and the conditions of Jacob. past and future. Go ahead.
Verse 28, for I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham saith unto him, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, nay, Father Abraham, but if one went up to them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto him,
right, the Lord's telling a story to make you understand the point. Okay, these events didn't actually happen. All right, go ahead.
And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
Right, so he's basically telling you, they're not going to even hear Moses and the prophets. So read that verse again.
Yep. Luke 16:31. And he said unto him, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
Yeah, if they hear not Moses and the prophets. So they're not going to be persuaded, even if the Messiah, even if he comes back from the dead, or it's not going to work. So there's nothing that you can do to convert an Edomite. All right, it's impossible. They have access to the records, but it's impossible for them to follow. All right, and even if they did follow, that's not their destination. Now Yahweh Shai made them to be the wicked. And that's the storyline they got to carry out. All right. You want to say something? All right. Hope y'all edified. Shalom. See you next week.
Shalom.